Hey, what's up, guys? A little change up from folks back in the Discord community for YKZ. Looking to try to go ahead and having a quick synopsis. I shouldn't say quick, considering there is a lot to pack in with the patch notes dropping onto the 14th of July 2023. Essentially Naraka 2.0, giving a head start into giving you guys what is going to be happening on this patch. Now, considering that a lot of features are coming through from the test server, as well as some additions to certain characters, as well as play styles to be changing up from what we're currently normalized to. Let's take a look into seeing from the initial get-go, because it is also the second anniversary, folks. We are looking at 2 years time frame release. Come on, dude. And wanting to go ahead and start it off with a banger, we're gonna have the new lobby gonna be setting ourselves up. Now, just a heads up on this new lobby, it is definitely gonna be a huge successful community type based system, considering that you are able to go into the lobby of your server and getting as many players who are waiting for their queue to show up, such as in the test server. Players are able to go ahead and place themselves, playing instruments, going ahead and becoming a little forerunner ball, or even more importantly, getting that speedrun challenge down with those leaderboards. And with it, you're going to see a lot of things going into this placement, such as a photo mode. And this 3D lobby has itself a really good potential for engagement between the community members who are waiting in queue for new players to ask questions, as well as going ahead and having queues join up, like, hey, are you queuing into solos, duos, trios? What's your comp? Is it okay if I try to play a game or two, trying to see what's going on? The nearby chat's going to be a huge aspect of that for the convenience sake. And with it, we're going to have a lot of friends going to be able to go and partner up together. Justice Chambers can go together, and Justice Chambers, if you don't know, are essentially the clan system in game to allow for you guys to go overall in a group and set yourselves up. They even mentioned in the Naraka Fest video how they are going to be setting up and implementing a Justice Chamber Spirit Well, and there are news to the Spirit Well as well, but we will get to that point later on. Now, starting off with the second tab, we're going to have the new congeneric weapon, the dual halberd. It's going to be a new version of how the dual blades will work. Of course, needing a crafting hammer in order to farm, or rather to craft these weapons. These weapons in the test server prove to be such a huge disposition for playstyle. I would put it into an aspect of just a phase out type of dual blade playstyle, where you are able to use the maneuverability, such as the quick actions like a dagger, but with the dual blades to a certain extent. Now, going into it, you are going to have a new specialized practice mode going into play, so free training is going to have more of an opportunity for you to understand what are the aspects of fighting within various advanced tutorials. We're going to look and see how that goes into place for you guys to see, and switching it up. Where do you feel as if you need to improve upon, whether it's becoming the common attacks, or getting yourselves knowing more about the charge attacks. Maybe even if they go ahead, considering there is 23 training exercises, we may get ourselves a little sneaky neutral training there as well, but we will see how that goes upon showing it. And with it, we're also going to have something coming in. No news yet as to what this is, or rather no one has ever seen something like this before. Brand new series of star collections. Unsure whether or not the star collections will go ahead and become something a necessary tactic for players, but it is going to be something for the collection freaks out there. So for all the completionists, this may be a way for you guys to go ahead and try to go and use the monies responsibly for obtaining certain items in the game that you may or may not be able to obtain by normal means, but also with the luck sack that might engage you upon the mortal treasure or other chests in general, for you guys to go ahead and having those exclusive items where they are tradable by the exclusiveness of them. And with it, you guys will be able to go ahead and switch them off over. And it also, if you guys can read at number 6 over here, it is also tradable on the Steam platform as well as others. So we are going to see how that goes off when it goes to launch in August by that point, for that type of switcheroo, and also with the trading system in hand. Now, going off of this end, if you guys haven't upgraded your game at any point. Now there is a way for you to do so. For between now and the patch, you will be able to pay for it, but after patch is gone, we're going to be able to go ahead and use gold to upgrade your game. This is essentially going to be a cost differential for you guys to go ahead and utilize as a way of going ahead and upgrading your game for those little extra goodies. Standard edition, or rather the standard, deluxe, and ultimate respectively, 980 gold to 1680 gold to 2480 gold, giving you guys a chance to go and enjoying a 40% discount for you guys for those goodies. Now, for example, if you get the first edition, you're gonna get the Lacerator dual blade skin. It's gonna be a gold skin, rather for the legendary skins, but with it also coming with hero coins. And for anyone who doesn't know, there is a free-to-play frequently asked questions thread for the free-to-play peeps who are joining on, as well as with PlayStation. Free-to-play are going to be able to unlock heroes via hero coins. 35 are handed out each week, so from the patch, as well as being able to go ahead and getting a new hero every 3 weeks. If you do not feel as if you want to take that initiative of waiting that long, you can pay for the gold version for 980 for standard edition, getting yourselves to 300 hero coins, as well as being able to get more heroes from the baseline version itself. Make sure you can double check what heroes are going to be unlockable from the standard edition for your growth as a character, but also as a player, and getting to know what they can do, as well as being able to utilize and be efficient with your hero coins. Obviously, going into the deluxe edition though, we're gonna get yourselves that White Viper legendary spear skin coming out here with 10 immortal treasures, with a chance, if you haven't rolled anything yet into the immortal treasures, 100 rolls is what's going to be needed to get you that extreme, that really rare skin, whether the top 4 from the immortal treasures such as Wasteland Elegance, or the Oceanic Entanglement's Grapple skin, and everyone's favorite Wolf's King's Great Fang Great Sword. That one is going to be what everyone is going to be possibly looking for as well. But with that being said, after the deluxe edition comes to play, the ultimate edition will get you going on the Matchmaking skin. The other ones, such as the Flawless Elegance with the Aroma Grappling Hook, for you guys to go ahead. Now, for that being said, if you guys don't know, you are going to be able to go ahead, and if you have the game already, whether you bought it for the standard edition, the deluxe edition, or the ultimate edition, you will get gold back from the time of purchase. So by that, I do mean you will get your gold back for how much, which edition you had gotten. So 1960 gold, 1960 gold for standard edition, 3360 gold for the deluxe edition, ultimate edition, 4960 gold, nearly 5k gold for going ahead and having the ultimate edition from Heads Up. And you'll be able to get your choice gift. So for those chests, most likely going to be going ahead and getting you guys any sort of chest from the seasons that we've had in the past, maybe the top 4, such as how we had Echelon treasure chest, as well as maybe the Untamed chest that just recently expired out. We may be able to see that going, but also the free Viper skin for you guys to have activated the game before the patch went live. Now, of course, when it comes down to it, free is free, and everyone likes free, and the anniversary event is coming into play, ladies and gentlemen. After 2 years, we are now going to go ahead into a full bulk player base to be rising out from the global side, but also most likely surging through the from the mainland servers as well. So we are going to see a lot of people hyped up for this. And during the event, what we're going to have for the anniversary again is there are going to be glory stones to set you yourselves up, such as a side event that you had remembered from the past, such as the map side quest or some map side event, or even the future event where we had to go ahead and do certain missions. There are going to be certain missions to be done every 3 days where you will need to try to complete in getting these glory stones. Now, accumulating the required amount of glory stones, that is where things are going to get a little bit spicy, because once you try to get all the glory stones that you need, 12,500 is the number that you are needing to reach to get every single one of those gifts, as well as in the shop for you to be able to spend out. Of course, there is a little bit of discrepancy. There are multiple ways for you to go ahead and getting those stones, such as going ahead and signing into the activities, having those side events such as the Wells of Fate, getting that done. And through it, there is going to be the 3D lobby, such as what I was showing earlier, an event over there for you guys to look forward to at the Fairyland Panglai. Is it Panglai? We're about to find out. In any sort of case scenario, we will go ahead and have that one be one of the anniversary events. But the second one, for the 7th one, limited time event, Night of Euphoria roll call. We're gonna see about 14. No, I'm joking. 2 chests of choice, one for the first day. So by after patch, you're going to be able to go ahead and choose between the 4 chests shown, such as the Untamed as well as the Echelon Treasure chest. But after 7 days, you will go ahead and having Staff Spiked Tumbler skin going to be available for you guys after 7 days. But after 10 days total time frame, you will get 4 more of those choose your own chest rewards. So with that being said, if you know where your pity is at for any of the chests, make sure you can check beforehand in the shop so you can get as close as you can to extreme if you haven't reached it yet. Otherwise, try to go for that legendary that you never got, or hopefully the extremes that are super rare with the rates that you can try to obtain. Now, number 8, we're going to have the anniversary sale coming into place. 40% off of these skins, such as the operatic legend Madam Green Snake for Justina Goo, Misty Gauze for Matari, Unsinkable Naga for Valdequi, which is going to be the lore outfit. Love to see it. Great Sword skins going to be available for the 40% discount for the Evil Bane, and for the Katana Soul Bloom Gen. And now that's going to be a bit for a 2-week sale for you guys to go ahead. They're going to be vouchers available for you to go ahead and snag those up for you guys if you want to try to grab one of these skins for a really big discount, especially for veterans that are looking to buy for these skins with the refund that is coming to place. Make sure you go ahead and do so if you desire to do so. Now, for number 9, limited time events, we're going to have the Wells of Fate. Now, this is going to be something very interesting considering the success and the dominance of Spirit Well becoming now a permanent mode. For you guys who don't know, Spirit Well had come through in about, for a huge surge of players who want to try go ahead and play in this mode against casual type of mindset, or even attorneys that may be brought up upon this mode. We're going to see skins to be given out for you guys by going ahead and participating if you want to choose, if the availability comes down to it. During the event, players can obtain a great amount of telluric essence by playing Capture the Spirit Well mode. Opening stashes in the survival modes also grant amount of telluric essence. Playing the survival modes with your chamber members or return heroes is a good way to get bonus telluric essence. Using telluric essence to redeem rewards during the event, you can also receive new ones each time a previous one is redeemed. You can also get glory stones by redeeming the rewards, which also with it you can refresh your rewards up to 10 times a week for free. Each time you refresh after that, it will cost 50 telluric essence. Another round of free refreshes begin on each Wednesday, 2000 UTC, and by UTC that should be around 3 p.m. or rather 4 p.m. EST, such as reset time for you guys at home. This event is going to last from this patch up until the next one. So with it, you're going to be able to get this telluric essence for 2 weeks, and after that you have another week to try to claim those rewards if you have the currency to do so. Number 10, we're going to have the anniversary stats coming into play for everyone to go ahead and review the game and wondering when. I wonder when that new map is going to drop, and that was a year ago, and that was Hollow Rock going into play. So that going into known, make sure you guys scan the QR codes that go into this event, so that way you can try to get yourselves these gifts, as well as getting the limited edition pose and other rewards that come upon it. So for number 11, season treasures are going to return. If you guys have been waiting for them, they are back for a very limited time. We're going to have it for the 2 weeks time duration. Title treasure, which is going to be having the Atlantis Wonder for all of Valdequi. Echelon treasure, which is going to have the Glacial Cascade for Justina Goo. Untamed treasure, which is going to have the Blonde Yodo skin. Could go into place and getting your guys the skin that you may want with a cybernetic cybernetic katana skin. Dawn treasure is going to come out here once again, which is the Zipping Ying with the Scorching Sun Greatsword extreme skin for you guys to go ahead and going through. This is going to be going ahead, coming for 2 weeks. You buy it now, and that's going to be, until it comes back, or from a choose your own reward chest to be available. For number 12, limited time event, we're gonna have the Glory Path coming into play for 2 weeks for this patch. During the event, complete special achievements to get the anniversary themed hero badges, as well as additional rewards such as the Glory Stones and Glory Chest gifts. So these are gonna be a huge way for you guys to go ahead and accumulate as many Glory Stones as you can, and redeeming them from that past passage that we had read upon earlier. For number 13, my favorite one, the hero returns for 2 weeks, right? We're gonna have ourselves a period of time for players who haven't been on for 14 days or for 2 weeks beforehand, and with it they'll go ahead and having themselves rewards. Now each round of the hero returns lasts for 3 days, would be calculated since the return date. Complete the hero returns event quest, get the rebirth seals, which then can be used to redeem limited edition rewards in the rebirth seal store. You can also redeem the rebirth seal with spectral silk in the spectral silk store. These are seals for you to be able to pay for past expired items that are no longer obtainable by normal means. The rebirth seal store does use those silk currency for you to be able to utilize. You can only get 99 per day if you're trying to splurge as much silk as possible. That is your limit in terms of how many rebirth seals that you can obtain. Side note, if you guys are running out of Tay by any means, you can use your rebirth seals to obtain Tay 999 times if you do so desire. So make sure you guys check that out if you are looking to try to use as much Tay as possible, whether for the immortal treasure chest or for otherwise, maybe for the new character talent clips and whatnot. But going into that place, we're going to have a lot of new options and a lot of new items going into place, such as the snowman for the stash skins, stash skins meaning for the blue troves, gold troves, but we are going to have a little bit of an update to those names, as you can see right there, and also with other outfits, purple rarity outfits, and maybe even so we'll maybe be able to see legendary outfits be available. But most importantly, this is what is going to be available for you guys in the new rebirth seal store update coming after this patch. Number 14, the hero recall event. All players are sent up to 3 invitations per day to friends who haven't logged into the game for more than 14 days. So if you guys are looking for those, invitations to go into place, those you send them to your friends who haven't played for 2 weeks. And if they do the daily quest for their hero returns event, you can get extra rewards upon it. Once you have recalled 20 friends, that's it. So if you got 20 homies on the side and you know that they want to play the game, or rather you know that they played the game in the past and they dipped out because they didn't feel as if they wanted to play anymore, this might be a better option for them to go ahead and get double or triple the rewards that are normalized by just playing by themselves, by joining back. Send them that reward, send them that invite, make sure they do it in the right manner, in the right way. Now, Battle Pass coming out, we're going to have Bize's Blessing, and this is going to be the season 9 for the Mythic season. Going into place, we're going to see a Zai skin, Matari, and an Akko skin to be in the Battle Pass available. 1200 gold is going to be the cost of the Battle Pass, so make sure you can see about going ahead and getting the Battle Pass, getting all those rewards. And if you want to get the advancement version where you can skip tiers, if you feel as if you need to go ahead that extra step, do it, man. 2840 gold. If you're using the gold refund to try to go ahead and splurge into the Battle Pass because you love the skin so much, this is your way to going through for those returning for those veteran players who have the game already. But going ahead, if you don't know, you're gonna go ahead and having that available. Now for number 16, Bize's Blessing, I should say, if you purchase Bize's Blessing, you will immediately receive 600 gold. You also get Bize coins, which can be redeemed for plenty of rewards in the Bize shop. The rewards are updated from time to time. Now this is something that's new. I haven't seen anything on the Bize's Blessing for the test server update, but it looks to be a little bit of like an extra additional shop. Maybe we can see how that one goes once the patch drops and getting a better understanding of what it entices. Maybe possibly just being a good show front for getting gold. Maybe the Bize's Blessing is like a monthly system. We will see, considering that Bize coins are a currency that's going to be used. Now, with it being said, again, the rank is going to reset for number 17, so we are going to have ourselves a new rank, just a whole new season going into place, and with a lot of new players. We will see how soon they will reach level 50 on the free-to-play accounts, or level 20 if you're just starting off in a new standard account. All right, so everyone's favorite section, hero adjustments, is going into place. We're going to start off with Zai being the first one, where her damage multiplier of her charge attack from her ensnared snow for her V2, or her second formulation of her ultimate, to be going from 4.2 multiplier to 3, which is a good way of mitigating that damage. And also it's going to increase the time for that ensnared soul meter to go from 6 seconds to 8 seconds. So it's going to be a little bit of that increase right there is just a lot when you think about it in the fight, as well as with the duration that it comes out with, but it is a good balance section for it. Also for her F skill between the Flame Ward and Flame Ward Ignition. When you enter that state, performing a rescue would immediately end the state. Doesn't seem to be something that was intended for that state, considering that you aren't necessarily able to do anything. You shouldn't be able to do anything that's outside the miscellaneous, running away, grappling, and whatnot. But after that, we're going to go on to Valda Kui. She's going to go ahead and having a reduction for her version 2 ultimate, Nether Nightmare Smite, which is going to go ahead in solo mode only from 20 seconds down to 15 seconds. There is not going to be any changes to that for duos and trios. Now third, Akos WHOO gonna have a duration change for his ultimates for V1 and V2. Now Feral Frenzy for solo mode from 26 seconds down to 24 seconds. Duos mode is going to go from 35-second duration to 30 seconds, as well as trios mode for that matter. So with that being said, good changes overall for the character, and as it stands to show, it is important to know that he will also have a damage reduction for his V1 ultimate, meaning he's going to go from the 2.8 multiplier for the first slash down to 2.3, 3.1 multiplier for the first dash down to 2.6, 3.4 multiplier for the final dash for 2.9. So with it, the nerf also goes into place for reducing the absorption distance between his horizontal strikes in midair, which is his jump LMBs. So with that being said, Akos WHOO probably getting the biggest changes here in this patch, considering for the adjustment for balance, as well as with Valda getting her changes for the duration for solos, considering 20 seconds in a fight is an eternity when it comes down to having the extra health that V2 does enable. But with Zai as well getting those changes for V2, we maybe have a healthier mindset when it comes down to fighting her, with going ahead and having the reduction of the damage that is dealt, the increase to the meter that is needed to fill up before she can use it again. And remember, in the 30-second duration node, that means instead of using it 4 times, she can essentially use it only 3 times when the times are right. So now Tianai, he's going to have a little bit of a new update to his skills and features, and on all modes, he's going to have a way for jumping. And with it, he's not going to do a lot of damage. It's mostly a way for you to go ahead and just get out of, get the heck out of dodge, and putting himself in a position of jumping away or out of places that are hard to get out of by normal means, by walking, or is the short hop, I should say. 15-second duration or 15-second cooldown is going to be it. And in showdown mode, we're going to have it for 10 seconds. Now, obviously, with that being said, we're going to have some little miscellaneous changes. We're going to adjust the ability to display where the pentagon shows the difficulty index for some heroes. So we're going to see a change in that to have a better understanding for those new players and wondering what is going on with this character and wanting to know who is going to be the best one for them, whether for their own skill set's sake or just getting a baseline initiation impression. Now, for that being said, the ultimate deactivation has also been optimized. So holding V will be more concise in getting yourselves outside of ultimate without griefing yourself, meaning that if you are going to activate ult to cancel your ult, necessarily for Akos, for example, how he needs to activate his V2s, he needs to throw himself out there, making a whole bunch of sound, making a whole bunch of noise unnecessary because the system wasn't working there. He's going to have that change, and he is now going to have that blessing of being able to deactivate the ult completely without having to use those charges. Now, going into weapon adjustments, we're going to see some changes from the weapons that you may or may not know. One of the main ones that everyone loves to see. We're going to get down that list a little bit. You're going to see a little sneak peek there. Staff is going to be going ahead and having a reduced displacement of the precise charge attack. So what that means is that we're going to have a little bit of a better accuracy change for those charge attacks. May it be the vertical, may it be the horizontal charge attack. We will see when that comes out for the patch. And another thing that's going to go down is the knee breaker getting a change for itself, with the knee breaker being the hold LMB for the little pitter patter on the ground. Going to be a lot of damage reductions from this. So 0.717 hits down to 0.55, and then for that being going across the board, we are going to have a big change from that, because 0.71 times 7 down to 0.55 times 2 with a multiplier of 0.69 times 2 with a multiplier of 0.3 times 3. That means you're not going to have a consistent amount of damage between all 7 hits. The pitter patter, you're going to have to accumulate that over the course of time of being able to release it up until the end of its duration with no cost efficient for having to go ahead and using it as if you were before for the normal damage that it dished out. So the starting of it is going to be a little bit lower. By the end of it though, you will reach its maximum damage for that hit. And also, it doesn't seem to say the displacement though for the light running strikes and light sprint strikes, meaning that you get those neutrals from just shifting out and hitting an opponent, is going to be a little bit less distance closure for your opponent to be able to get hit by it. So this is going to be a little bit of just the distance that the staggers can obtain from you hitting your target. Keep that in mind. Also, any of these changes for the damages from the multipliers are not going to take into effect in showdown mode. Dual blades. Slightly shortening the startup frames of charged vertical strikes. We're going to have the adjusted airborne height when knocked airborne by the crouched vertical strikes as well, with a slight reduction to the displacement during the charged vertical strikes and increasing the displacement of those vertical strikes. If you guys are confused as to what does that mean, so verse 1, slightly shorten the startup frames of the charged vertical strikes. You're going to be able to go ahead and having a faster vertical charge to be released. So with that being said, you're going to go ahead and having a faster release from that point, but the airborne height when knocked airborne by the crouched vertical strike, meaning that it is not going to be as high for you to go ahead and having your opponent launched up. So it won't be as high as it was once before. And the last part of this, where it reduced the displacement during charged vertical strikes and increased the displacement of vertical strikes, most likely going ahead and putting yourselves in the position of not having, how far you move to go into the vertical strike. And then when you use the second blue focus in your vertical strike, you're going to go farther, or you're going to go even further off of that point. So that way you don't have to move so close to your opponent if you don't need to. Now, dual blades are always going to be dual blades, so we're going to have to see how that one goes into play. Great sword is definitely going to be a huge play here, where it's going to now become the stone form king, considering that it's going to go from 80% mitigation to up to 90%, because then you look up below, the pole sword, its congeneric version, it's going to go from 80% down to 75, going to have a 5% reduction for that stone form damage mitigation. So we're probably going to see great sword being the better defensive option when it comes to utilizing stone form. Whether that outbeats pole sword's maneuverability with being able to shift out of attacks, utilizing the stone form to get a free blue focus hit after the shunt to the face, we'll see how that engages. Now, big nerf, Longsword. Longsword's going to have the biggest hit to its damage. Once again, we're going to see a reduction for the charged horizontal first stage from 5.12 to 4.39, and horizontals are the higher damaging blue focus strikes for the longsword, as a heads up, because you can see the second stage multiplier goes from 6.15 down to 5.44. So we're looking at a pretty significant damage nerf coming out from this skill, as well as seeing its verticals not being abstained from that damage nerf, going from 4.46 for the first vertical for the first stage to 3.99, and then for the second stage going from 5.35 to 4.92. These don't affect it in showdown mode, so don't worry about your Vipers using the longsword, but this is gonna be a very conclusive end to the damage that the longsword may bring. We're gonna see some changes also to certain ideas of how you can utilize the longsword with certain Jades down the road. Now, on to Soul Jade adjustments. The staff Soul Jade for Stanchions Rising Sky Pillar has more of an optimization to its special effects, most likely to give you a better understanding if that person is using Stanchion Sky Pillar, as well as for your own sake. For the dual blades, the impact effects of Universal Slash is going to have more for stable attacks, most likely allowing for you to know where the Universal Slash will effectively be the spot to hit if you're going to reach the money hit of hitting your opponent from that certain distance. The Longsword Jade, that's what I was mentioning earlier. We're going to have a change to the HEPA detach for the damage multiplier, going from 0.35 which is a 2-hit, plus 2.77 down to 0.12. That 2-hit plus 0.92. So we're looking at a huge damage reduction for the Hepta detached Jade, but that is not going to be it. We're going to see some recovery changes for Hepta. So with it, even the damage nerf, as big as it is, the healing from it goes from 65% to 400%. That is a massive heal. If you guys have saw it in the test server, there is a big amount of healing that can come out of that. If you are down below with no health, if you're able to get that Hepta detach off, even if the damage may not be dealt as high as you were wanting to, the amount of health that you can recover from that is going to be stagnant against your opponent if they redeem themselves until they see your health again. So with that being said, we're going to see some changes to Phoenix Blast. And just as before, damages are going to be nerfed from across the board. For the first stage, horizontal 2.96 times 2 down to 2.63 times 2. For the second stage, horizontal 3.65 times 2 to down to 3.6 times 2. And with it, charge vertical strike for the first damage multiplier going to be for 2.5 times 2 to 2.35 times 2. For the second stage, 3.17 times 2 to 2.96 times 2. So big changes to the Longswords, gonna have a insignificant impact. Hepta detached though, getting a little bit of a swaparoo, less damage, more healing, a lot more healing. So with that being said, we're gonna see a change in whether or not Longswords can be dishing out the damage that it once did before in VR. Otherwise, we're gonna see just a little bit of changes between the effects of the staff Soul Jades for the Stanching Rising Sky Pillar Gold Jade and Universal Slash Gold Jade as well. All of these are the Gold Jades for the weapons respectively though, so we will see how that one goes into play later on. Now for you guys in there for the in-game adjustments team, we're gonna look. Is that what I think it is? Capture the Spirit Well. You love to see it because Capture the Spirit Well being such a huge spot for players that want to go in and play the game in a more casual sense for a domination type mindset and objective based. This is going to have a big changes from what we were once upon learning from before. Now, for the first change is going to happen to Capture the Spirit Well. We're going to see how they cancel out the battle acceleration at the end of the round. Nearly by the end of the round, there is a double point increase for every single capture point that you do have, so they're going to take that one out. But for the last round for the morale awards, instead of being double points, we're going to have it change to increase attack and defense and expose the enemy spots, which is similar to how it could be for the first one, for the first morale reward, where it's either that buff or the rage recovery buff for the morale reward. Now obviously after that point, we're going to see a little bit of a changes to the soul altars. We're going to have an optimization of those as well as the ref dealers on the map. Now, for the cost, the Longsword just ain't getting it easy. Phoenix Blast and Hepta detach getting a nerf for price point in the Spirit Well shop. Going to be 20,000 to 25k. So with that, you're going to have to put some heavy investment into it. If you don't know, you're able to get the Longsword Jade that is going to be Moonbane's Wrath, if I'm not mistaken. You are able to get an innate Phoenix Blast, but at the detach, you'll need to pay for it out. Group Heal is going to be back into the shop though with the Rift Dealer's inventory, which is also going to be effective not to be global, but instead 50 meters duration or 50 meters range for your team. Now, for the armor itself, you're not going to be able to drop it anymore, so you can't drop a armor for your teammate, but the initial quantity of advanced armor patterns and the healing berries with the vitality for the OGs gonna go from 6 down to 4. So healing won't be immediately abstained. If you're gonna go into an objective and think, oh yeah, I can heal up, now you're running out of supplies sooner than you might think, so keep that in mind. For that going into place though, the default distance gonna be going big time from 30 meters to 40 meters, and remember, this is only in the Spirit Well mode. This is not in the BR mode. This is not in Bloodbath or any other mode, only in this mode specifically. So plan your talent glyphs accordingly. If you're looking for a grappling distance, to go ahead and maxing it out, try to get as far as you can with a meter, 50 meters I believe over that margin if you do go full grappling distance for your bottom blue Jades. And also with the change to the HUD, we'll have channel names to have a better visibility for that. We're we're going to see a change. In the tester, we saw the new grappling aim systems where it is able to go ahead and release immediately upon a recognition of a service to be grappleable for you to go ahead and have that system. Now this is going to be defaulted for free to play, most likely for those new players as well, and getting you guys going ahead and seeing how it works. It will go into a spot where if you press the button for the grapple button, and if there's a target, if there is a wall immediately in the vicinity, your grapple will be thrown out and goes through it. But it is also noted that you can change this setting if you want to just press the grapple button to have that reticle available for you to go ahead and press at any point that you wish to upon a desirable throwing your grapple. You can do so in the settings through the game settings as well as for the grappling aim. For controller mode though, double tap has been added, boys, and with it you're going to be able to go ahead and just being able to tap your grapple button and being able to throw the grapple immediately upon doing so. So we might see something going along those lines to that. But by default, new accounts, like I said before, are going to have the automatic mode that is mentioned aforementioned from before, and it does not affect any sort of configurations currently, but only for those new accounts. And this is the directions. From grappling aim, you can go to escape for options, go to settings, go to gameplay, enter, click on combat, and you'll be able to see in that designated tab how to change your grappling hook to be how you desire it to be so. And some little sections for the controller peeps, you're gonna have some vibration going into place for the launching of weaker attacks, as well as being able to go ahead and feeling the wrath of swarm, and also getting hits off of with Valda Kui, Wei Shan, Wu Chen, Justina Gu, Takeda Nobutara, Farius Shen, Akos Hu, Zai. And with it, you're going to see some controller vibrations. You know, to change it up, you got to go to options, you got to go to settings, go to controller, turn it off if you don't feel comfortable with having vibrations, or if you want to keep your battery alive for the playtime that you want to put into it. Now, future optimizations, martial artist solo mode, which is essentially going to be more of a 1v1 base type tourney system map that you can essentially utilize. It's going to reduce the size of the combat area in this mode, since it is, for lack of a better term, pretty big for the majority. But it also going to change the number of grappling hooks in this mode from 6 to 12, so we're going to see some changes there for you guys into that section. Mechanism adjustments. When the current round in the Rainbow Yang is full, the light effect at the gate of Yang will fade and disappear, making it easier to determine from a distance whether entry is possible, which is a massive quality of life update that we are gonna enjoy for us ranked peeps, and getting an understanding of when that Realm of Yang is maxed out, when there is no more players able to be entered. Getting that head start in the information game just provides a huge game sense and a huge quality of life for us to know that ahead of time and not putting ourselves in danger by going to that Realm of Yang. Now, some out-game adjustments for you guys. So nothing really in the in-game type ordeal, but it does affect your gameplay, right? First gameplay adjustment, like I said before, Capture the Spirit Wheel is now a permanent mode. Ladies and gentlemen, it is here to stay, and the rotation of gameplay modes will be temporarily disabled, including Shadow Surge and Through the Fire, so we won't be able to see those. Through the Fire, though, is available through custom rooms. Shadow Surge, though, I don't know when, but Shadow Surge should show up pretty soon, because Shadow Surge is a really good mode at base. Free training mode, though, is going to have some custom behavior practice to be added, allowing you to input AI opponents' behavior for targeted practice sessions, and it's going to optimize the free training scene by adding some slopes, some houses, some beams, and more of a diverse terrain. That was in the free training, which we saw, for you guys to go ahead and having that done. There's going to be a new opening video, and it's going to be pretty fire for you guys who are looking to see those animations come out, and it's also able to be viewed by going to escape and options in the lobby, and then going to open the menu, selecting the video there from there. Now, a big one, matchmaking, autofill teammate. In the Herald Trial duels and trios modes, players ranked solar and below will be unable to cancel the option for auto matching teammates. So plan accordingly how you want to go ahead and putting yourselves into that point. Otherwise, you will need to make a team or just allowing yourself to solo queue and seeing how that goes to play. Hero badge store. New hero badges going to be added for this Capture the Spirit Well mode. And it's going to have an expansion, the Sage rewards for hero badge points. This is for achievements if you guys are unsure how that goes through. If you get achievement score points, you get a hero badge score, and then allowing for an increase for extra rewards, such as being able to pay for the Lotus treasure through the hero badge store by level 4, if I'm not mistaken, for you to go ahead. But it's going to allow for you to obtain more showcase slots and season treasure choice gifts. If you meet the hero badge requirements, the rewards will be automatically transferred into your hero badge interface after the update. For your profile though, season data and match history are added for the Capture the Spirit mode. You're going to see more of that. Your personal profile now displays the Capture the Spirit Well stats, while Omni Nightmare stats are temporarily removed. And with that being said, Capture the Spirit Well is here to stay, folks. And for number 7, unlock levels for game modes. Increase the unlock levels for certain game modes and adjust the unlock visualizations. Like I said from before, Vita is free to play. It's going to have a level 50 requirement to play ranked. Whereas if you have the standard edition, level 20 is going to be the necessary rank for that, but we will see how that gets adjusted for the future. Now, for those peeps who are wondering about Showdown, I'm going to have some combat adjustments. The pursuit ability and usage frequency of Iron Taifang's 4 consecutive hammer strikes have been reduced. That's good. Remove fixed additional damage when calculating burn damage while soaked, and reduce the Kurumi's Aegis Break multiplier from 2.5 to 1.2 for the Purified Circle for the Showdown Ultimate after the Wind Circle is affected by the Wind element. Okay. So it just changes the reduction for the Aegis Break from that activation for her circle with Wind from Tumult, but also being able to have, you know, the additional multiplier from, you know, not having it from, you know, when it comes down to the burn soaked application. Now, for the Showdown Scrolls and matches initiated with the Showdown Scroll, teammates are required to use Showdown Scrolls to obtain drop rewards for that match, including SOULJADE, Quench Crystals, etc. Otherwise, they will not get the drop rewards. They were needing to go ahead and have that done, yes. They would need to use it. Otherwise, if you don't use the Showdown Scroll, you won't be gaining any sort of rewards when it's off time from the usual time when Showdown is available. Now, for SOULJADE adjustments, Thunder Surge adjusted the effect of increasing Thunder Shock based on the Thunder wielding levels. At higher Thunder wielding levels, the Thunder Shock accumulation speed remains mostly unchanged. At lower Thunder wielding levels, the speed is appropriately reduced. Now, Storm Prison Aegis Break adjusted Aegis Break multiplier from 35 to 25 for Tumultuous Storm Prison Showdown. So, the Ultimate's concentrated strikes after equipping the SOULJADE is going to be a big change from that. Now, Scorching, which is a rare attribute, after a counter, the effect of a melee move changes from inflicting 6 seconds of burn with each attack within 10 seconds to inflicting 18 seconds of burn with the next attack, with no change in damage per level. That is a massive change for that to come out. So we will see how Scorching gets applied with that 18-second duration, because you get a soaked feeling on that, and that's a huge burst off to come out for that end. Now, for the first clear rewards, we're going to have added first clear rewards for some stages, including new SOULJADEs, the Dynastic Treasure Choice Gifts, Legendary Display Bases, and more. If you have already cleared the stages, you can obtain these rewards immediately, meaning retroactively, by entering the Showdown Preparation interface after the update. There's going to be some new Showdown SOULJADEs, such as Cloud Scorch and Draco Stride, have been added in this update. Here are their specific effects. Cloud Scorch, melee charge attacks will inflict burn on enemies hit. And then Draco Stride, after dodging, a wave is created and hitting enemies will inflict soaked on them. These are really good Jades. I really enjoy this. This is going to be a good sense of being able to get those soaked and the burn status at the same time. That's just free damage. That is damage over time pretty much, if you can be able to go ahead and getting that off back to back and utilizing your skills and your items as well. Also, for you gamers out there, we're going to have a little bit of a client optimization update. Client optimization gonna go ahead and having itself reduced memory allocation. So we're gonna have a better way of getting improved frame rates, as well as being able to go ahead and having a better management of the resources, getting us better game performance in crowded areas since the last update. So Spirit Rail is a big example of that. We will see if that goes into place, but also team fights and trios modes. We're going to see how that one goes into place for you guys who are having a little bit of stutters out there that are not unnecessarily thinking I shouldn't have that. We'll probably see that better after this update, considering the massive changes to go ahead. Now, I don't want to go over this section considering how much it does enable you to just remember if you need to, but there is going to be changes to the English names for majority of the skills in the game, going from Viper Ning to Tumult, Tarka-G, Atari, Kurumi, Tianhai, Yodohime, Volusui, Weishan, Wu-Chen, Justina Gu, Takeda, and Ziping Ying. So these characters are going to have a change in their skill names, not to the skills in general, just the names. And for example, for Viper Ning, Twilight Crimson, her ultimate is now down to Moonbane Control. Tumultuous Zephyr Prison is now Storm Prison. Tarka-G's Inner Fire, or his Blackout ultimate, is now Fire Frenzy. And Unseen Wings, Invisible Assassin from Atari. Sacred Circle is now Purified Circle. So for this being known, you guys, if you are looking to see about the skills of the characters for the new players, if you feel like getting an understanding of the skills of their new names just to be in the familiarity sense for those new players, do so. Otherwise, you can still continuously keep them at their skill designations such as F2, F1, F3, V1, V2, V3 as a better way of getting a neutral designation for those skills when it comes down to it. And also some name to items. We're going to see changes between vitalities going to healing berries, weaponry chest to go to repair kits, troves going to be changed to stashes changed to caves, energy is going to be changed to stamina, cairns now to remains. So with that being said, gameplay changes is going to be astronomical in terms of the names. Considering that new players will see these as being the new names and being able to go ahead and having that memorized, that is up to you. Also, Tianhai getting the 4th cultivation story lore, love to see it, and it's going to be going into place. We're going to see some new packs though, new store updates. We're going to have the Takeda pack for the Maximilian collab, everyone's favorite dude, as well as with Benny being in there as it goes to show. So with that being said, there's going to be a bundle available for Max for his glasses, for his outfit, and as well the hairstyle, from 3,800 gold down to 2,300 for you guys to be able to purchase. There's also going to be a Tarka-G legendary outfit coming out for the Dragon's Bane. So with that being said, go ahead and pick that up if you love playing Tarka-G. But with that being said, there is also more skins to be available between the dual halberds, legendary gesture that was available that we saw from earlier. So with that being going through, shout out to Benny with a high 5, gonna be from the MaximillianDood collabs. If you guys want to grab those MaximillianDood's items before they're gone, because they may or may not be gone at a certain point, make sure you do so. If you feel as if you want to be safe, when these discounts are live now, these discounts are live now. So make sure you do so before you regret it later, but do so responsibly. And on that note, baby, PlayStation 5 is here. We got ourselves a new set of player base coming from the PlayStation Sony system, and with it on this patch, we're going to see some exclusive features where they're going to have an independent ranking system, their own justice chambers, 3D lobby, and torchbearer events that are not shared with other platforms. And with it, the cross-platform aspect of this, they can add friends, create parties, and matchmake with players from other gaming platforms. And with it, custom rooms for cross-platforming is also supported. And with it, some bug fixes between the abnormal attacks at the end of Zai's ultimate, the abnormal performance when Zai uses her ultimate, her V3 ultimate, which is Chain Scythe Afflict, and fixed an issue with Wu-Chen where the cancellation of the Yin Yang Orb encountered exceptions when his rage was below the teleport requirement, and also fixed an issue where Wu-Chen can cancel his Unleashing ultimate without rage cost. But weapon-related bugs such as the second stage of the Nunchuck's Dragon Flurry and Dragon War was unable to dispel sword energy. And with that being said, there's going to be a fixed issue for the grappling hook where there are certain special circumstances. And also, with that being said, the last very final thing is a wrong calculation of collection points for the Sunrise Market and Coiled Dragon. The collection points is 10, Coiled Dragon 2025. So that's just going to be for those points. And with that, end of patch for today, or rather for the future, for July 14th, 2023. These are going to be an immense amount of changes that come into place. test server had a new mechanic that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes for the dodge mechanic for combo breaking. We will see if that is going to be instilled in this patch, or maybe in the next patch. We will see about that. I will see about linking the video down below if you guys are unsure what I'm talking about for that. But my name is Serverio from the YKZ clan, hoping to commentate for the tourneys coming into place and getting a better understanding and a broad scope of things to come. We will see Naraka Bladepoint flourish in the coming weeks, and with it, I do hope you stay unbound, unchained.
Happy second anniversary, Naraka.
Oh, wow.